Hi, everyone. I can just start now. All right. Hi, my name is Jenna Jasic. I'm the District Vice Principal of Indigenous Learning and Equity at School District 6, which is in Invermere. We live on the Secwepemc and the Ktunaxa territories. And I'm from the Shuswap band, and I also have lots of relations with Akiskanak, which is our Ktunaxa band that's here. My grandfather, my great-great-great-grandfather was the last hereditary chief for the Kiskanak band. His name was, no, I'm on the spot. What was his name? Oh my gosh, I just think of Louis. His last name was like Chief Louis Arbel. There we go, I remembered. So I'm very excited to have everyone here today. This is kind of like a dream come true for me, is to have learners that want to learn about my culture. And last year, my great friend Duncan from CBEEN, we worked together and did the Every Child Matters year-long challenge. And we had a great time learning and questioning and being curious. And we thought, what's next? What can we do next year? And during the year, I found this amazing course called 4 Seasons of Reconciliation. And I got in contact with Andrew from Reconciliation Education, and I piloted the course, and I just was like, this is incredible. It's all just, everything is just point, and it doesn't take that much time, but you get so much out of it. And so I proposed the idea to Duncan, and he, of course, he said yes. He's a yes guy. And so we've been working with Andre for, gosh, a couple months, a while, to get this organized. And I'm just so grateful and thankful to everyone that's joined, because my family, my culture has always been so special and just so close to my heart, and I've always wanted to share with others, but also to know there are some atrocities that have happened. But with that, with learning the truth, we get to do all the reconciliation, which is learning about culture and perspectives that are connected to outdoor learning. So I'm very grateful and thankful. Is there anything else you wanted me to add, Mr. Duncan?
Well, I don't think so. Just so everybody's aware, this is quite informal. So this is just an opportunity to share, to ground the year ahead, to connect with you as we embark on this learning journey together. So I am really looking forward to learning alongside everybody. Jenna has been such a wonderful teacher, and yeah, really excited to be joining you and deepening our learning together. I'm Scottish in ancestry. I'm now based in the homelands of the Ktunaxa and the Secwepemc, and live here in Caswell, or what's now known as Invermere, or the prairie up on top. And yeah, on behalf of CBEEN and all of our partners here, I just want to provide a warm welcome to you for this, joining us on this journey. I invite each of you in the chat to share where you're joining us from. What territory, what land are you joining us from? And as you're doing that, I wanted to acknowledge that CBEEN knows at a foundational level that Indigenous knowledge and perspectives are foundational to our work, and we can't engage in this work properly without undertaking a personal and meaningful learning journey. So we have provided our staff with paid time to do this work together over the coming year, and we're grateful for all the organizations who have supported their staff, and for you as individuals who are taking the time to do this on your own time, largely. And yeah, so thanks for sharing your territories and the places you're coming from in the chat. We do, while we are in this place in Southeast British Columbia, Jenna and I, this work does look broadly at Indigenous perspectives from across Canada. And we do have participants here from across Canada. And so while we'll take the time to try and ground this with perspectives and voices from this place, those are relevant to all of us as Canadians. And so I think, yeah, really excited to the learning journey ahead. I did want to say a big thanks to Kootenay Savings Credit Union and Columbia Basin Trust, who provide some financial support to make it accessible for folks. And yeah, before we turn it over to Andrea at Reconciliation Education, again, we wanted to ground this in a personal way. So we wanted to take a few minutes, not long, but a few minutes to break out into small groups of 3 or 4 and invite you just to introduce yourself, where you're joining from, and one thing you're hoping to get out of the learning this coming year. So just your name, where you're joining from, and one thing you'd like to learn from the year ahead. So how many people do we have? 50 people divided by, what is that? 16, 15, 14? Let's go 14 groups. And we'll just take let's say four or 5 minutes, take no more than 1 minute each, and just introduce yourselves, and we'll call you back in a few minutes here. And the room should be open now for you to join. You're welcome to hang out here in the waiting room, Andrea. It's Andrea, right? Andrea. Yeah.
It's Andre, like actually here. Like the wrestler giant, but I have my little picture.
Oh, sorry. I was like, Jenna.
I go by Andrea. All my First Nations friends call me Andrea.
Oh, fair enough. Sheldine and Amanda, if you'd like to join a group, you're welcome to, but you are not in any way required. You won't be joining back. Or if you want to take yourself off of mute and say hi to Andre and us and you can do that. So after this, I can hand it back over to you, Andre.
Yep, absolutely. I'll be ready.
I'm just scrolling through where everybody's from, but I mean, most people from this region, but a lot of people from Alberta and Ontario, or a few anyway.
Duncan, to share my PDF, I'm going to drop it in the chat, but if people aren't commenting, it might scroll up. Are you able to also email it to folks?
Yeah, I'm going to follow up with an email with the recording and some other things tomorrow morning. So do you want to pop it in the chat?
I'll pop it right now, just so you have it, and then I'll also pop it when folks come back.
Okay, I got it.
Got it.
I'll just make a note to include that. Hi, Susan and Kim. You had a small group, I think, just the two of you. May I ask you, since they've got an extra minute, where are you joining us from today?
Duncan, can you hear me?
I
Can you hear me? Susan is able to listen to me, but not able to talk and have us hear her.
Oh, so were you able to communicate her location?
Yes.
Gestures?
Yes. Yes,
Hi.
we did it. We did it. And but we haven't heard from Andrea. Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm sorry, was I were we in the huddle together?
Oh, no.
There was just Susan and I.
Susan and Kim came back a little bit early because they only had the two in there. So
Gotcha.
Right. Okay.
Orange.
I wonder, helping Susan on our end, if that's possible for hearing.
Right. So she can't hear us, but she can hear us.
She can. Yep.
You just can't communicate. Well, the good news is we don't have any other interactive elements, well, except questions and answers, but you can type that in the chat.
Okay.
So it is nice to see you. And, you know, I can make out a little bit of the, okay, I'm gonna invite people to come back. We'll carry on. And so, yeah. So Kim, sorry, where are you joining us from?
It is traditional territories of the Ktunaxa, Syilx, and Sinixt peoples in Nelson, BC.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
And Susan is from nearby, from Kimberley.
Oh, lovely. Just,
Yeah.
well, I'm just up the valley.
Oh, right on, right on.
Over the mountains from you, Kim. All right, welcome back. I hope you had a good chance to connect with a few people, to share a little bit. How many people met somebody new? Put up your hand. How many people met two new people? Put up your other hand. Oh yeah, wonderful. So we are grounding this work in some new relationships. And I think it's really important that, that this work is done together. And that's why we have this learning community. And in fact, for the year here, we have, it looks like close to 300 people who have registered to join us. Some are in the final stages of confirming that, but a wonderful learning community that we get to be part of in the year ahead. So I'm very pleased to pass it over to Andre from Reconciliation Education and the First Nations University of Canada to share a little bit more about what's in store for us.
Thank you, Duncan. Can you hear me okay? Great. Well, my name is Andre Caswell. I'm the 5th generation settler from French and Irish descent, and I now live First Nation on Vancouver Island, part of the Douglas Treaty. So I'm the Director at Reconciliation Education in collaboration with First Nations University of Canada, which I'm honored to introduce you to in a few minutes via a short video. And I see a hand raised though, Duncan, so I'm not sure if someone needs some assistance, so maybe you can communicate with Shauna. Wonderful. Well, in the spirit of keeping things casual, I got my cup of tea here, and I was hoping that we could spend a few minutes to show you how to register, as well as how to log in, and share with you some questions, some technical questions, and then hopefully we can open it up and have a broader discussion about, you know, the content of the course and so on. But I want to be respectful of our time together. And so maybe I'll start at the beginning. So I'll share my screen, and Duncan, I'll lean on you if there's any technical glitch or any audio glitch. And so here we go. So this page, which I suppose, Duncan, you could drop it into the chat if you wanted to. It's where you would come to sign up for the course. So we'll share this page with you just in case that's one of your burning questions, is where is the link to begin the journey? And so you would register here and, you know, fill out the form, and that would provide you with access to the offer that is being proudly featured here today. I'll show you in a little bit as well how you would log into the course, but let's take a moment to present to you First Nations University. And the reason we thought this video might be of interest is, one, it is 60-second, and as well, if the spirit of this video speaks to you, you'll probably really like the course, because First Nations University of Canada is one of the oldest Indigenous education center in the country. Located all across Saskatchewan, and it is, you know, national as well. And they are not only the partner to this initiative, they're also the content creators for many of the sections, and the Elder Circle, who are the elders connected to First Nations University of Canada, are also part of this project and also create content. So so here goes. Hopefully everybody can hear this okay.
Built on the prayers of our elders, who envisioned the wings of the thunderbird, elevating students higher and higher, to test our resilience, to prove our character, to find spirit, to find our second home, where people of all colors, all nations are welcome to lay down roots and walk the indoor and outdoor classrooms of one of the oldest First Nations post-secondary education centers in the country. This is the place for which spiritual warriors fought for this dream to be. An Indigenous university for all. More than just to learn, we come to be whole. The First Nations University of Canada welcomes you all. Come step into the future with an edge like no other.
So that's First Nations University. And as well, if we go into what is the course, so as you can see at the end of the course, the certification is also provided by First Nations University of Canada. So when you complete the course, and I know I'm jumping to the end here, you receive a certificate from First Nations University. People love to have that acknowledgement of that first step in the learning journey. Various learners shared this on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn then became also a client of this initiative. So it's something that people can share. And in addition to the course, so we have 10 modules here. There's also an ongoing library. So there's another 10 to 15 hours that you can access. So the course has these three components: the learning itself, the course, the certification from First Nations University of Canada, and as well, it has that ongoing learning for those who want to continue their learning. And so I wanted to share this with you. This is really meant, there's lots of wonderful courses out there. We recommend many. This one is meant to be, first of all, to close the gap that all of us have in our education journey here in Canada. And so to kind of bring everyone on the same level of awareness, but it is the basic 101 that we all missed in our education journey in Canada. And it is the gaps that the calls to action want to close for learners, whether you're in a workplace or in a classroom. We tend to work predominantly with workplaces and classrooms. And so we help organizations bring this course in for their employees, or classrooms in for their students. And this course is also meant to be, you know, hopefully if it reaches it, it's transformational in the sense that it helps people have that aha moment that I didn't know that I didn't know. And so these themes are in line with the TRC calls to action. And as well, we're also a member of CCAB, and so we also provide this course through the organization of CCAB, and help people become certified with the Canadian Council of Aboriginal Business. So I'll drop this link in the chat as well. I know we have folks from all kinds of walks of life, and this may be of interest. And I'm mindful of the clock, Duncan, so I will perhaps do a quick walkabout of the sign-up process. So once you arrive at this place, you have a special registration form here that also provides you with direct access to the learning. If you go to our regular website and you don't identify that you're part of this initiative, you might accidentally get charged or end up in a course somewhere else. So it's really important to follow this particular process through the form, and then we know exactly where you're coming from. So very simple: email, first name, last name, and you would submit this. You would receive a welcome email from Four Seasons, and it tells you here, you know, add this address to your address book so it doesn't land in your junk mail, for example, is one quick way. And if you follow the link, you would then arrive at this sign up page here. So this is a demo. In this one, we already have an account, so we're re-entering the course. This is a bit of a testing. Oh boy, this is new. Hopefully there we go. And here I can see on my dashboard, you know, the courses that I have, and I wanted to draw your attention as well. Here's some wonderful learner FAQs here. And this, my dashboard, is where your certificate, if you misspelled your name, this is your own profile. So you can always go here, download your certificate, and so on. And so you would simply click on the course here that would appear, and you would start the course, and that would take you directly to your portal. If you leave, it will track your process. It will track your progress. So you can always return. And now I'm not able to skip through because I haven't finished the learning. So it's really important to use this little complete and continue button to track your progress. This is another course of ours that's here in our demo. Yours will, of course, look a little bit different in terms of, you'll recognize, you know, the logo of this organization here inviting you to learn. If you get lost, I'll drop this in this is our website, and you can come here and also chat or search our database. So I need help with my course. You know, how do I log in? You know, you could start to type in here. You know, if you're not sure where you are or what to do, assuming that you're already a registered learner, all of these help articles will make sense. So how's that, Duncan, in terms of, I'm looking at the clock. How are we doing? And yes, to your point, Duncan, some of your folks are already also enrolled. So if you are enrolled and you haven't started your learning, you're going to look for this email, and I'll drop it in the chat. So if you want to search for that in the background, people who like to multitask, you would have received an email, or you can also do a search in your inbox for Four Seasons. Now, lastly, I'm going to drop in a handy little PDF here, and these are the top questions that you might receive or that you might have through your learning journey. I'm just looking to see if I have an example open. But if you follow this PDF, and I know Duncan might also share it with you. Oh, well, here we go. I can just click on it myself in the chat. It will give you kind of our top articles, and you can follow these links, and it will take you to our knowledge base right here. So this is kind of our general help space. Help, I'm having a course issue, and you could enter here and access all of these.
And I'm happy to help.
How's that?
That's great. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty intuitive. I've gone through it as a user and then as an administrator, and it feels pretty intuitive. So if anybody has any questions at all, feel free to email me. I have all your links direct to your personal access to get in through, I don't have your passwords, but I have your links to get you to your place. So if you lose track of that, but I'd suggest just bookmarking what they send you from Reconciliation Education, and then you've got it handy. And for us, you know, we're on what's called a drip schedule. And so there's 10 modules, but just one module will be released per month. And I mean, Jenna can maybe speak a little more to this, but we thought that, you know, instead of dumping it all at once, we would provide a module, take some time for it to sink in. Jen and I are working to engage Indigenous people, leaders, educators, knowledge holders to share once a month. And so on the 25th of October, we've got our first one with Chief Barb Cote here with the Shuswap Band, also Jenna's mom, and hope you don't mind me sharing. And so she'll speak to the first module, which is Third World Canada. And so we've got a number of people who are excited to share through the course of this. So, and then at the end in June, when we're all looking to summer, that'll be when you can access your end of year sort of quiz, I guess, to be able to access or that's when your course will be completed, and you'll be able to access that certificate at the end. And Jen and I were thinking we would have a little wrap up maybe early June before it gets too crazy, and bring us all back together again in kind of this format to recap and also to share a little bit about what we've done. So Jenna, what have I missed?
Oh, well, I just wanted to share that the reason we wanted to do monthly was so that we would have those really rich discussions and have time to reflect and think, and even do a little bit more learning. I just think that each module is very important, and there is so much information packed in one module. I just wanted to give us space to do that. And of course, it's you can finish it really quickly, but then you're done. And I just feel like we can do with the challenge, I felt like this would be so great to have rich discussion. So thanks.
So, and I should warn you, Andre, we're already looking to next year, you know, to see, you know, how we progress through this, what would be taking it to the next level. And I'm sure, well, maybe not everybody's there quite yet, but we can talk offline about that. But so, yeah, just acknowledging time here. We're coming up on the end of the hour. If you do need to go on to other commitments, that's totally fine. That was the core of what we wanted to share. But we would invite you to stick around if you want, ask questions. We're here. You can take yourself off of mute if you want, or type them in the chat. And we will share a link to the recording as well as the resource on Andre shared, and a few other things by tomorrow morning. So to those of you who have to leave, thanks for joining us, and we really look forward to the year ahead.
Thank you.
And for those who are sticking around, feel free to take yourself off of mute or ask any questions you might have in the chat.
I have a question. I am excited for this course. Huge thanks for the opportunity. I am an outdoor educator and was particularly intrigued by how we might be making this connected to the work that we're doing in that particular context, because I believe that was mentioned in some of the descriptors of the course. So is that going to be more in our discussions? I don't know if this may be a Jenna question, or because when I was looking through the course syllabus, it looked like these pieces were more, I guess, modules of history, and I wasn't quite sure where the, I guess, the outdoor education and the land-based learning part was, and I'd love to hear more about that.
Sure. I mean, we could probably both. Do you want to start?
Do you want me to go first and then? So if we're going to do this journey, it's very, very important that we learn what the truths are first before we engage in the reconciliation. And so with Indigenous learning, outdoor learning is, of course, 100% connected. And so then it just goes hand in hand. And so it will, through the modules, Indigenous learning, outdoor learning will be with it. It will come in a more organic way as we flow through the course. But Duncan and I are always cognizant about thinking how can we bring things outside? How can we connect it to our learning? How can we connect it to like organizations and education? So yeah, we will always be connecting back to Mother Earth.
I don't have anything to add. I mean, it's just their default. And Jen and I, we meet outside, we connect outside, we think about this. I mean, it has to be connected to the land. And so, yeah, while it may not appear directly connected, it is intrinsic in all of this. For sure. Thanks.
Yeah, just decolonization, right? It's when we decolonize, we get outside, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Any other questions?
Shauna.
Yeah, just along the same vein, it just when you put truth and reconciliation together in terms, it seems like we're a long way away from reconciliation, and that a primary focus is truth. Like, I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but they seem to be blended in a term or a concept, and really reconciliation is something that we're going to be working on for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, that's reality, right? As it's not going to happen overnight. Colonization happened for quite a long time, so it's going to take a long time to learn the truth and break the cycles of what have occurred for the past quite a while. So I think it's just the journey. It does go hand in hand. You will learn truths, but at the same time, with that, you'll also learn the beauty of Indigenous culture and perspectives, which really is the way of reconciliation. But for you to have a non-biased and compassionate understanding of where Indigenous people come from and their views, you need to understand where they were before contact and what happened after. And that will also help with your journey. It's just that you can't do one without the other. I hope that helps.
Well, and I would echo that also by saying, I'm French Canadian, so we're a pretty impatient people sometimes. And so, when I heard in June, when we were at the walk in Ottawa with Commissioner Sinclair, celebrating the report that had just come out and saying, if we get started today and we really focus on these calls to action, we're looking at 20 years. So when we look at the delays in starting some of the work, it might explain why reconciliation in some places is not as far. But I would say that once you do learn the truth, and not that this course is the only method, I do find that people move to action pretty fast and find some concrete steps that they can take. And as you mentioned, enjoy the journey. I would echo what Jenna said. Before we have a project under our arm, or we have an action that we want to take, so important to start learning. So hopefully the course and then your ongoing learning journey in different places also, provides you that, and you'll find that people actually move in good ways towards action once they have that awareness, if that's helpful.
I was going to share just in terms of sort of next steps here. You know, you hopefully, if you haven't received it already, you will receive it very soon if you registered today or yesterday, your link to access the course. If you haven't yet, I'd suggest going in right away and doing the getting started section. And then, and that just gives you a familiarization of the course. And then also the module 1 was opened for everybody on October the 1st. And so that is a video. And Andre, did I see in the video that did you have a hand in putting that video together?
My background is in documentary filmmaking, Duncan, and so you know part of our work is technical and in multimedia. So in this case, it was a film that was envisioned by the writer Morris Switzer, who's also a treaty belt carrier from Ottawa, in that role, I directed, you know, his vision. So it was a great journey.
Yeah, well, if you haven't watched it yet, it's a really powerful video, no matter where in Canada or North America, for that matter, that you live. And then we'll have Chief Cote join us, and I'll just drop the link. You'll have that in your inbox too, but just so you have it. To share around third world Canada from her perspective locally, and what that means for her. So yeah, just looking forward to having you. Well, I look forward to learning with all of you. And a big thanks to Mia, who is on the line, who has been doing so much work with administration behind the scenes and just sending me, she's one of CBEEN's awesome staff, and she's so thank you, Mia, for all your work in helping people to onboard. Yeah, any final questions or last thoughts, Jenna or Andre? Oh yes, there is still room to sign up, Pam. Yep, for sure.
I have a quick question. Just wondering what to expect for final assessment. I know this journey is going to be something that we can't probably put to words right yet. Just sort of preparation wise, any advice, anything you can speak to with that in regards to that?
As long as we'll do the modules, and most of the content comes, like the final assessment comes from those, and we'll do a review before the final assessment. You have nothing to worry about.
The word assessment just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I know.
I'm a teacher.
A check-in, a soft reminder of what you've learned.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds way better. Can't wait.
Oh, you're on mute, Andre.
Just to give you a sneak peek, you know, there's about a dozen questions, and they're all, you know, as mentioned, content that you would have learned throughout. So if that's helpful, and I believe the final mark to pass is 65%. So if that helps you with that, and you'll be learning in group, all of you, so you'll be fine.
Yes, I'm a huge supporter of learning that sticks, so meaningful learning, right? And so an assessment to sort of support the learning that will stick with me, I'm very much looking forward to. And, you know, thank you for the little sneak peek. That's great. Yeah, again, I would just love to learn and know forever the knowledge that we're going to be learning in these modules that I can share forward. Very much looking forward to sharing forward and outward.
And as well, every lesson has a short quiz, so 3-4 questions. So it does help kind of wrap up, and some, but not all of those questions. You know, the essential will be in the quiz, not the frivolous. So.
Chimigwech, everyone involved. I'm going to hit the road. I'm 3 hours into the future. So we'll see you all very soon. Miigwech.
Nice stuff. Okay, well, if there aren't any other, I'm just checking the chat out here. Are we missing anything? Any burning questions that someone's put out there? Jenna, any final thoughts?
I do have one final thought. Third World Canada is an amazing video, but it also will get at your heartstrings. So just have an open heart when you're watching, and give yourself some time for to have grace and nurture for yourself as well.
Get outside. A lot of this work is, Jen and I find, not easier, but more possible. Maybe that's a way of putting it, outside. So maybe build in some time for yourself to go for a walk after. Okay, well, thanks everyone for joining. Again, looking forward to the year ahead, and connect with us, any of us, at any time if you have any questions at all. So can you touch that?
Duncan and Jenna, do you need me to stay behind? I'm flexible.
I don't know. What are we missing as course supporters here?
Well, I think this went really well. The only thing I caught, and I sent you a private chat, there was one person who was asking if they were added to the list. But I think other than that, that I would keep sending that document, Duncan, especially since